Hello, my name is Jean-Marc and I'm going to speak to you briefly about my experience with Cell Wellbeing and the S-Drive and how it's helped me in my situation to achieve a state of health. Now, I began investigating health deeply in October 2013 when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And I've been through some serious changes physiologically in this year and a bit. I've lost 20 kilos of fat on my body and maintained all of my muscle mass while doing that. The part of the reason for this is, of course, the fact that my body was trying to get rid, or is still trying to get rid of mercury. Mercury is stored in fats, so what happened to me is that the fats on my body became saturated with mercury, at which point it started to go into my brain and I started to have some more serious problems. In this time that I've been working on cleaning my body and getting back to a time of health, I've been working with Cell Wellbeing tests and the S-Drive, which for me is a fantastic service that really gives you a lot of information that you would probably not find anywhere else. Now, in the process I've been living, which is extreme fat burn to detox mercury stored in it, I've been applying different techniques to detox, but also I've been applying renutrition. So essentially finding out what the body is missing and how you can assist the processes of detoxification with nutrition. Because it's definitely hard work to get rid of mercury. It's one of the worst things you can have in a body. It's the second most harmful known element to man, just under plutonium. And it's a lot of work to get it out. If you do not do some very specific work, you will not be pushing out all of the mercury out of your body in a very long time. So cell well-being systems have allowed me to understand all the different nutrients that my body actually needed and was asking for to arrive at a state of, health, and to help in getting rid of the mercury, which requires a bunch of different things. I said no to all medical treatments at that point because they weren't giving me enough information, and I began researching and later found out that what I was suffering from was chronic mercury toxicity and not MS. Now, during this time, I've been working with the Bioresonance profiles, hair scans from Cell Wellbeing, which I arrived to through a friend, which introduced me to the technology and had a test done. I found it very, very interesting, the results we were getting back, but in a way I found it almost too interesting. I thought, this is really a lot of information, a lot more than I've had before. How on earth are they managing to scan this, and is it real? Is this really results about my body? So I decided to start testing a little bit the system and seeing if I could figure out what was going on and if it was really working. And I did several things. One of them was, for example, testing my results in the following way. I had, for example, a result which said I needed 4 amino acids. And I said, I'm going to supplement with 3 amino acids, 3 of those, and leave 1 out and see what happens. So I did that. I supplemented with 3 amino acids. The results are in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, obviously, by starting by the most needed one. So I supplemented with the top 3 for about a month and a bit, and then I had another hair test to see what the results were going to be like. Now, to my initial surprise, because again I wasn't sure what was going on, the results that came back after the supplementation were the following. The 3 amino acids that I had supplemented with were gone from the results. So my body was probably saying, thank you, I now have enough of those. The 1 amino acid that I didn't supplement with, which was the 4th, now went to the top of the list of amino acids that I should be supplementing with. So the ones I took were no longer an issue and not appearing in the test. The one I didn't take raised in priority and became something that my body was telling me I still really need this thing. So that already made me go, okay, this is very interesting, and it seems to make sense. And it seems to indicate that there's really some scanning going on, and there's some good info coming back. And whereas normal blood tests you will have done in a hospital or at doctors will show you, your cholesterol levels and a couple of things here and there, The cell well-being tests really are very broad. They look at vitamins, they look at minerals, they look at amino acids, they look at antioxidants, they look at a bunch of different things, and your body really is able to kind of tell you what it wants more of to complete the different processes that it has going. Obviously, things that I believe are, some of them, not even understood by medicine yet. Your body might start processes that require certain nutrients that we don't even understand yet. So having a technology which allows us to kind of talk to the body directly is a fantastic thing, and I'm really quite excited that I found this technology, and that in my case it's allowed me to arrive at a state of health from what was a very serious condition. My prognosis when I was told that I had MS was not very good. It was ending up in a wheelchair and pretty much degrading into a, pretty much a cripple and dying young. So at that point I really had to take responsibility and find ways to receive information to be able to heal myself, So yeah, cell well-being most definitely very, very useful for that, and has helped me, the whole way through to understand what my body needed. Another thing that really I found very interesting, and which again pretty much for me made me say, this is a great technology, I can stand behind this, it makes complete sense, and it's helping me to understand what my body needs. One of the results I had in one of the tests was citrulline. It's an amino acid that my body had a priority requirement of. Citrulline, when researched, I went off, obviously, I take everything that I get in the test and I research it as much as I can. I researched this on the internet and found that citrulline is actually a component of myelin basic protein. Myelin is the fat that we have in our brains that surrounds our nerves, that makes sure that nervous impulses can flow correctly at the right speed, and that the brain basically works and you can control the whole of your body. Now, the illness I had, which was misdiagnosed as multiple sclerosis because of the neurological symptoms, was an illness of fats in the brain through which I was told my immune system was attacking the myelin in my brain and removing it. I now understand that my immune system was cleaning the myelin because it was receiving mercury, and my immune system said, listen, this is the brain, we cannot really have mercury here, so it started cleaning out the myelin. The fact that at that point the hair test was asking for citrulline, for me was absolutely incredible. I said, look, this is a direct connection to the condition I have, to the illness I'm living through right now. It's the test telling me we need this, which is very specifically going to help you for healing from your condition, which incidentally I have done. I'm now perfectly healthy. I have no lasting symptoms of any kind from any of the 3 crises I had, and I'm perfectly healthy, actually healthier than ever before. So this was just to kind of illustrate the fact that I've gone through about 1.5 years of healing from what was a diagnosis of MS. I'm managing to do it, and I believe very firmly now that the cell well-being systems and the S-Drive specifically with the Bioresonance hair tests had a really big part to play in allowing me to understand enough about what my body was going through to be able to apply a treatment that meant I was going to heal, which I have. So I really do firmly say, that cell well-being, that the S-Drive, that the Bioresonance hair tests are very, very much an interesting technology that as many people as possible should consider, and that can probably help a lot of people to understand where they're at and where they need to go to achieve a state of health. So a big, +1 from me for cell well-being and their service.